What a night to remember. Oh, Met Gala, I will never forget thee. Oh, hello, it's me, billionaire Chad White, the financier of this show, who is different from the host, Chad White, who is just the host of the show. You're catching me at an awkward time. I'm just now coming back from the Met Gala. Oh, the gala, as we call it. It was splendid, superb, fantastic, whatever adjective you plebs, poor beings want to say. I saw so many famous people: Timothy Salami, Cardioid B, Cynthia. Oh, what a wonderful time to go. You really should have been. I know you can't afford the $35,000 ticket or the $300,000 table to eat at, which I did sit at alone, no big deal. Oh my gosh. Any Hoosers, I'm just now getting home and taking off this outfit, not putting it on, did not mess up. And, in fact, I kind of want the rest of you to see my fit, as the kids say. So I'm going to start taking some Instagram pictures, no filter, hashtag, and I'm going to upload it to my Instagram so that everybody can see just how good I look. Okay, the news time. You, I almost forgot my merkin. Okay.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the Met Gala news that you didn't know about it. Now, if you can't tell by my attire, I'm dressed up for the Met Gala. Okay. It wasn't today. You caught me. I'm just now getting back from New York, and boy, are my arms tired. What a crazy night the Met Gala is. Always the first Monday in May. And now, if you don't know what it is, it's the Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute, and it's essentially a giant fundraiser in order to raise money for the arts. And what they do is they invite famous people, fashion designers, and politicians and whatnot, and just regular rich people, I guess, to the Met, and they go down the red carpet. They see the museum selection for that year or for that season or whatever, and that's how it works. It's been going on since 1948, and since 1995, Anna Wintour, you know her as the famous fashion mogul, the owner of the of Vogue, the head editor, or whatever they call it, as well as Condé Nast, and the reason why a bunch of people of color and women don't have a lot of high-paying jobs at Condé Nast institutions. But she really has turned it into a party of her own since '95, and in more recent years, a lot of people have noticed who used to go, like Gwyneth Paltrow, uh, have called it more or less. Gwyneth Paltrow, I think her words were unfun, but it's really become just a professional setting instead of what it should be, is a dinner and a party. It's the tickets, as mentioned in the cold open by elusive billionaire Chad White, were $35,000, and the tables can go up to $300,000. There's famous people that go, like Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, ASAP Rocky. I just named all the brown ones, and but they never usually pay. They're usually there as guests, and so are the politicians. So are the up and coming young designers who are hoping to get featured alongside ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, Cardi B, and the rest of those people. And it's usually a big dinner for museum donors and patrons, and then it just has turned into just a giant fashion industry party, or fashion adjacent. This year's event featured Regina King and Lin-Manuel Miranda as the hosts, alongside Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I would tell you how the program and event went off, but they don't allow phones or selfies or anything, because a bunch of models, along a couple of years ago, were in a bathroom taking selfies of themselves smoking. So they kind of ruined it for everybody, and so no one really knows what goes on. It's what I can only assume is after they come on the red carpet, which is shown on E and other places like such, they go inside. They probably have cocktails and a dinner, and then there's like some type of show. Like if it's, I believe I read that Cher did some songs from ABBA, and as well as she did her own songs, and so maybe this year Lin-Manuel Miranda was able to rap for these people. Who knows? Who knows? Except for the famous people. And maybe Ryan Reynolds was there talking about his penis or whatever. Different themes. There's different themes every single year, with the exception of 2000 and 2002 when the show didn't happen. But 2001, they didn't know it was going to happen in September. So, like in 2013, there was a punk chaos of culture, and that one was really hard to capture because punk is just such a wide thing. But if you look at previous years, it basically is the same thing. 2008 had superheroes, fashion, and fantasy, and I can only assume all the superhero movies of that time were really taken into account, like Iron Man, which was the first new superhero movie in a long time. What else was out at that time? The Dark Knight, I guess. The original Spider-Man trilogy, the best Spider-Man trilogy, the X-Men, what was then a trilogy, the Superman movies, maybe even Superman Returns. That was probably out in 2008, 2001. Jacqueline Kennedy, the White House years. So everybody, I guess, dressed up like Jacqueline Kennedy. I didn't look up pictures for those last two. I have no reason to. This year was In America, an Anthology in Fashion Part 2, which is a continuance from Part 1, which was in September, because for one time only, they threw 2001's in September of 2001's Met Gala, because the pandemic, essentially. It was just because of the pandemic. And it featured a slew of Gen Z people, like Naomi Osaka and the rest of those Gen Zers that people seem, which apparently I'm not far off from. I'm in the generation before them, but I'm not far off from them. There's been controversies and stupid stuff to be mad at, but really nothing that really stands out. It's more or less a giant party for rich people and famous people to bring awareness and attention to whatever the the Met is fundraising for, and just get money donated. And yeah, I mean, it is a lavish affair, and it's kind of stupid with all this fashion stuff, but in the end, it doesn't hurt anybody, and it brings in a lot of money for a good cause. And you know what? Also, I gotta admit, I like seeing these famous people dress up in weird things that aren't just dresses and suits and pants and shoes and shirts. It's fun to see Kim Kardashian wear basically a skin tight dress with a black hood over her head, and ASAP Rocky wear a pillow. Timothy Chalamet wear the baggiest pants known to humans. So there you go. Listen, if you like what you heard here, if you want to see more fashion and get more fashion advice, head on over to youtube.com. Why don't you subscribe? Check out one of our videos, and head on over to youtube.com/CPlusComedy, where we have interviews with our favorite comedians. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CPlusComedy. And then me, at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And look, I got to come clean. They told me to take this off when I went to the Met Gala.